Catalyst really enjoyed that height advantage to open the match with a quick lead. Vortex is starting strong today, but the historical data heavily favors his opponent. It's a tough hill to climb, considering Catalyst has won 60% of their lifetime encounters. We have to see if Vortex can actually flip the script here. We are all tied up as we head into round 5. Vortex is definitely proving his top 2 standing early on. That was a lightning fast exchange. Catalyst is starting to put some serious pressure on Vortex. Neither player is backing down in this deadlocked clash. A much tighter affair than their previous meeting today. Catalyst edges ahead by 1 as we enter round 7. His track record on this specific ground is actually a bit weaker. Catalyst is currently riding a 3-game winning streak across his recent matches. That's a huge contrast to how he's usually played lately, where he's only winning about 40% of the time. It looks like he's found a way to really shut down Vortex today. Vortex answers back immediately with a flawless sequence to keep his hopes alive. It's a huge shift in momentum for the projected favorite. Catalyst holds a 3-round cushion as we restart. He looks completely comfortable with this lead. Catalyst takes a 7-5 lead into the break. Well, everything is going according to plan for the top seed. He's maintaining a steady grip on this series, though he hasn't completely shut the door yet. Let's see if Vortex can rally. He's refusing to go quiet, keeping the pressure high as this fight tightens up. The early favor for Vortex is starting to look justified. Catalyst keeps a 2-point safety net for now. A crisp shot from Vortex to narrow the gap further. He's showing real grit in this second half. A really strong response from the favorite in this half. Unbelievable. He's completely wiped out the deficit and brought this match back to a dead-even split. Everything's on the line now, as the roles have completely shifted. Catalyst takes control from that box, just barely holding on to his lead. He's really showing that same confidence from his earlier win today. What a statement! He completely wipes the slate clean to bring the series back to a dead tie. Absolute precision in that last exchange. Vortex continues his resurgence, just walking through that encounter to take a narrow lead. We're back at a stalemate, 10-all for both. It's a tough spot for the second-ranked player to be in. He is simply refusing to let this slip, grinding his way back into a commanding position. A complete shutdown of his opponent as Vortex pushes just one more round away from the win. His recent matches show he's a fierce competitor when pushed. Catalyst fights back with a clean shot, refusing to let the series end just yet. Absolute chaos. This unbelievable sequence forces the game into overtime as we head into a deadlock. He completely shut that down, taking a huge step forward with 3 straight wins. It's a total mirror of that dominant performance from their earlier set. What a fight! Both players were trading heavy damage, but he scrapes by with a tiny sliver of health to keep his run alive. A total shutout of the round as he refuses to let the momentum slip away. He's just not quitting, which leaves both players perfectly deadlocked in this overtime clash. The pressure is mounting for the higher rated competitor. What a clutch reaction to secure the lead. Catalyst is now just one step away from closing this out. Vortex claws back into the tie, keeping his hopes alive in this brutal overtime stretch. Talk about a grueling back and forth. Vortex moves ahead, putting Catalyst on the defensive. Vortex holds a 2-round advantage as we reset. He's playing exactly like the favorite we expected going in. Vortex is really pulling away now with an 18-15 lead. This is far from the outcome we saw in their last match. Vortex is firmly in the driver's seat at 19-15. He really stepped up when it mattered most in that overtime period. It's a huge result for him, especially after getting crushed in their last meeting. What a game. Phantom holds a huge historical lead with an all-time win rate of 63% in this matchup. He's currently trying to shake off a string of losses from earlier today. It'll be interesting to see if that early momentum carries him through the set. Phantom's on a roll, leading the series 2-1. Vortex is coming off a really strong victory against Catalyst earlier. These rounds are just flying by. Phantom is making it look easy right now. It's a tough spot for the number 2 seed to be in. Phantom's just edged ahead, taking a slim 3-2 lead. It's worth noting the favorite is currently under quite a bit of pressure. Vortex fights back and we're all squared up. The top seed is looking very vulnerable in this match. The momentum is shifting back and forth a lot. It's really anyone's game right now. The number 1 rated player finally seems to be finding some composure. A dead heat at 4-all for both players. The second ranked player looks just as confident as the leader today. Phantom claws back into a 1-round advantage. Neither of these players is letting the other breathe. It is pure chaos right now. Vortex takes the lead, putting Phantom on the defensive. Phantom has had a rough run of results so far today. We've got a 6-all deadlock heading into the break. Well, it's surprising to see this much resistance from Phantom given how the pre-match projections looked. He is definitely proving he can hang with the favorite on this specific map. Fresh start for both of them. Phantom manages to break the tie, taking a thin lead. Vortex is usually expected to take the lead in this pairing. Absolute parity again as they're locked at 7 apiece. Vortex is certainly making a strong case for his rank tonight. Phantom is really digging in here. If he can keep this push going, he's going to be very hard to stop. And just like that, Vortex levels things at 8. Coming into this match as the favorite has not made things easy. Vortex just nudged ahead to a 9-8 advantage. A tough run of results lately is clearly weighing on him. This is getting incredibly tight. We've completely forgotten about the earlier lead and it's just a straight toss-up now. It's an incredibly high-stakes battle between the two top-rated players here. Vortex is holding a narrow 10-9 grip on this. He's certainly playing like he's on a roll right now. Phantom forces another tie and we're back to a stalemate. He's really fighting to overcome that 17-8 run today. Vortex is showing incredible poise right now, holding on to that 1-round lead as we head toward the finish line. It's been a brutal sequence for the world number 1 today. Vortex handles the situation perfectly from the wine to put himself on the verge of victory. He's completely shut down any hope of a late-game surge. He refuses to just give up, securing a huge clean win to stay in this. A quick, decisive exchange to keep the pressure on. What a sequence that ends regulation, with the score deadlocked at 12-12. His overall head-to-head superiority is staring them both in the face. Just when it felt like he had the momentum, Vortex puts a stop to that and secures the lead. Both players are truly operating at a different level. We are seeing an absolute nail-biter here, with neither player able to secure a lasting advantage. He is truly proving his status as the top seed in this marathon. He's putting a lot of pressure on his opponent right now, really squeezing the life out of this series. The back and forth is just relentless. Neither one of them can put the other away. The top-ranked player is showing a lot of heart in this overtime. Vortex puts on a great show from the wine to push the score to 15-14. A very different outcome than we expected from this pair today. A perfect response from Phantom to bring us back to a dead heat. Pure instinct on the draw for that last exchange. Vortex barely edges ahead in this absolute bloodbath. Vortex is now 2 rounds clear of the finish. The momentum is swinging heavily toward the world number 2. Vortex is really pulling away now at 18-15. The confidence is radiating off him right now. Phantom narrows it down, trailing 16-18 now. His ranking doesn't reflect how much he struggled today. Vortex keeps the upper hand at 18-17. He's completely flipped the script on the last 2 exchanges. Vortex extends his grip to a 19-17 lead. He just couldn't find a way to close the door in that overtime scramble, a massive result for the second seed today. What a match! Unreal. He barely survives a wild exchange to take the opening round. Phantom enters this match with a strong 68% win rate on the map, and honestly the raw numbers suggest he should be dominating, but he's recently fallen to Catalyst in their most recent duel, which seems to be rattling his confidence a bit. He's just completely in control now, securing another effortless point. He's really struggling to shake off those recent losses. He's simply outclassing his opponent right now, adding a 4th straight to his tally. A perfect shot to close that out, proving he isn't folding under the pressure. Catalyst is just cruising along with a 5-2 lead. The top-seeded guy is really feeling the pressure right now. A sharp play from the toolbox as he keeps this resurgence going. The underdog really needs to step up if he wants to keep this lead. He manages to secure another victory from the wine box as he continues to climb back into this match. Everything is shifting back toward the favorite's favor. They both fought for that ramp, but Catalyst was just a split second faster to the trigger. He's definitely looking more comfortable after taking that last head-to-head. What a way to enter the break. He just wiped him right off that ramp. A quick exchange as the momentum shifts just before the half. We've got a dead heat at 6-6. Honestly, this isn't playing out like the pre-match prediction. Phantom is digging deep to stay level, despite that scary 4-round slide earlier in the set. New sides, let's go! He manages to pick him off the ramp, officially taking the lead. He's starting to look like the higher seeded player again. He's really finding his footing from that ramp, instantly reclaiming the tie. He's really fighting for his life against the number 1 seed here. Phantom stays aggressive from the ramp to secure a clean victory. The ladder gap is starting to feel more apparent. Catalyst is really starting to put on a clinic today, completely shutting down everything. Phantom tries. The number 1 seed is really feeling the pressure here. Catalyst holds a thin edge as we hit 9-8. A real tough stretch, especially following that narrow loss to him earlier today. He just can't get an answer right now, and that puts him firmly back in the driver's seat. It's becoming a nightmare for the top seed today. Phantom manages to secure another piece of ground, picking him off the ramp to keep this rally alive. Another rapid response to take down the defender on the ramp, bringing things level at 10-10. Catalyst just shuts him down on the ramp, keeping that 1-round lead intact. It's a grueling shift for the league's top seed. Phantom refuses to go away, taking control from the ramp to tie this whole thing up. The tension is peaking as they head into these final frames. He's simply refusing to break, putting himself just 1 step away from victory. It's exactly the kind of result you expect from a high-seeded matchup. Absolute chaos in this final regular round, but he manages to pull ahead and force overtime. The top seed is really fighting a battle of attrition. The speed of these rounds is just incredible. Neither of them is giving an inch of ground. The momentum is mirroring their previous meeting on Mapas. Phantom secures a huge one from the ramp, refusing to let this game slip away. Total deadlock now as we head into the final stretch. That was a tense stalemate for a few seconds, but he eventually finds the mark to keep this momentum charging forward. He's just relentless, holding his ground on that ramp to move within striking distance of the win. His reaction time looks frighteningly fast right now. A clutch response from Catalyst to keep this series going. It's a nail-biter for the favorite now. Incredible! He digs deep to secure the series victory with an absolute stunner. He really had to dig his nails in to shake off that losing streak and get the win. What a series! A fast start for Catalyst here, just outdueling him in a rapid exchange on the ramp. Unbelievable! He barely survives that chaotic scramble to take a commanding lead. The head-to-head history heavily favors this result. Vortex was way faster this time, picking Catalyst right off the Tetris blocks. He's certainly feeling the heat after that tough series against Phantom. We're deadlocked at 2 apiece. It's anyone's game now. He's definitely carrying that confidence from his recent victory against Catalyst. A total shutout as he takes full control of the server. The second best player on the ladder is firmly in charge. Purely effortless, he's just unstoppable right now, picking up a 4th straight. Catalyst answers back quickly, picking his opponent right off the box. He's proving why he has the upper hand in their long-term history. Vortex has stayed consistent today with a 2015 record over the last day. It's a huge contrast to the current slump Catalyst is facing in his most recent matches. He's really capitalizing on that momentum to keep the pressure high. Catalyst manages to hold that ramp position and keeps things very tight here. Looking at their all-time record, it's clear Catalyst is the one with the historical edge. Total parity now as we hit a 5-5 stalemate. He's really showing that raw talent expected from a top 5 player. Vortex closed back into a narrow lead, moving ahead 6-5. A strong showing for someone currently second on the ladder. We've got a deadlock at 6-all. Catalyst entered as the favorite here, but he is struggling to pull away. Vortex is playing some bold rifle combat to keep this series tight. Let's see who takes the lead. Vortex edges ahead by 1, clutching a tight 7-6 lead. It is starting to look like that recent victory on Dunes was no fluke. Vortex is really leaning into that 70% win rate he's posted in his last 10 games. I mean, that kind of short-term confidence is starting to outweigh the long-term history. Catalyst holds here. It will be interesting to see if Catalyst can find a way to break this momentum. A total shutout here as he continues to put up a fight to narrow the gap. He's fighting hard to close this gap after a shaky start. He keeps the pressure on from the ramp, refusing to let his opponent pull away. He's really proving why he's such a dangerous opponent in this league. Vortex has a decent cushion now, leading 10-8. His side of the bracket is definitely feeling the pressure right now. Catalyst keeps pushing the pace, proving he's not going down without a fight. Just a narrow margin separates these two right now. A completely clean exchange, and he's now tied things up at 10 apiece. The pre-match favorites are now staring down a total reset. These two are refusing to let this game go, trading rounds back and forth in a real nail-biter. He just refuses to break, snatching the lead back from the boost to make it 11-0. Everything just flipped on its head for the pre-match underdog. That was a cautious approach from Vortex, and he's now just one round away from victory. He's finally finding a way to lock down the big moments. Absolutely sensational, Vortex secures the final point and closes the series with a clean finish. He really stepped up when it mattered, outlasting someone who usually has his number. What a fight! What a close start! Both fighters tangled up on the ramp, and Vortex barely scrapes through that encounter. Phantom usually knows exactly how to handle this specific opponent, winning about 61% of their lifetime encounters. It's the perfect setup for him to assert his authority as the top seed in the league. I'm curious to see if he can put that historical advantage to use here. A rapid reaction from both players on the ramp, but he just can't be stopped right now. The top seed is putting on a clinic here. Vortex answers back immediately from the container, keeping this set very close. The second-ranked man in the league is certainly showing his class. Phantom is firmly in control with a 4-2 lead. He's looking for a bit of revenge after that loss on Italy. Vortex narrows the gap to 4-3, keeping us hooked. Vortex is definitely riding some confidence into this set. Phantom has been extremely active today, putting up an 18-9 record over the last 24 hours. It's clear he's using this high volume of games to sharpen his reactions for this specific set. The real test now is if he can sustain this intensity and finally close out the match. Vortex keeps his foot on the gas, efficiently narrowing this gap. That's a bit of a shake-up to the momentum. A wide-open encounter that ended abruptly, and now it's practically a deadlock going into the break. Things are looking very different as they head toward the midway point. We're all square up at 6-6 heading into the break. Well, the pre-match hype focused on Vortex, but Phantom is proving to be just as dangerous. It's a total toss-up right now. Fresh start for both of them. Vortex makes his presence felt from the ramp, continuing a strong push to regain his lead. He's really proven that the settings don't tell the whole story. Phantom secures the ramp to break that slide, and now we're right back to a dead heat. Neither man is given an inch in this heavyweight clash. Phantom edges ahead by a single round here. Expectations are starting to align with that #1 ranking. Absolutely untouchable right now, securing a 3rd straight for the lead. Just a different story than the one we saw on Italy. Vortex refuses to go away, landing a perfect shot to stall that momentum. A critical response to keep the pressure mounting. What a fight he scrapes by with a tiny sliver of health to tie this thing up at 9-9. His nerves are clearly made of steel right now. Phantom claims the advantage, pushing ahead 10-9. His overall win rate is truly frightening over thousands of matches. Vortex is showing incredible grit, picking him off the container to bring this match back to a dead tie. A perfect reset as they head back to a deadlock. He's showing some real toughness now, taking this lead back as the momentum swings his way. A huge opportunity for the underdog to pull off the upset. Unbelievable. He's completely seized control of this game, leaving the top seed with a mountain to climb. The top seed is suddenly feeling the heat. Absolute perfection to close it out. Vortex storms back to finish this series. He really overcame that historical deficit to prove his dominance today. A huge statement win for him against the #1 seed. What a match! Phantom holds the overall edge in their head-to-head history, and honestly, he's looking extremely sharp right now, after already taking another close series from Catalyst earlier today. I'm curious to see if the top seed can maintain this pressure. Absolute perfection here, he just won't let up. What a fight! He claws back around through a sheer war of attrition, barely surviving the exchange. That was an incredibly tense sequence for the trailing player. Phantom is putting a total stranglehold on Catalyst here. It's a familiar sight for the #1 seed. Catalyst looks far more comfortable now, shutting that down completely to get back into this. Expectations were high for the favorite, but he's facing some resistance now. Phantom is looking extremely strong today, with an 18-10 record over the last 24 hours. It's helping him maintain a level of composure that's clearly rattling his opponent. He's simply playing his game right now. Phantom's towering 6-2 lead feels almost insurmountable. The #1 seed is simply too sharp today. The momentum has completely shifted back as he walks away without taking a single point of damage. Catalyst digs in and manages to secure a late victory in that duel. He is currently the highest rated player in our ladder. Phantom's 8-3 lead is just dominant. Catalyst has been fighting through a rough run today. Phantom takes an 8-4 lead into the break, and honestly, he's making this look easy despite the analysts picking the other guy today. He really capitalized on his 62% map win rate to put up a wall here. Time to see a new perspective. Catalyst cuts the deficit, but Phantom still leads 8-5. The gap in their overall history isn't nearly as wide as the rankings suggest. Phantom pushes the lead further to a commanding 9-5. A tough run of form for the #4 seed lately. These last few fights have been over in a heartbeat. There's just no room for error right now. Another tough outing for the #4 seed. Phantom is cruising now with a 10-6 lead. He's certainly fought through more adversity than most today. The momentum is just completely one-sided right now, and the finish line is starting to look very close for Phantom. A complete shutdown on that attempt to rally, and he's now just a single round away from victory. Catalyst manages to pull a quick return, picking him right off the ramp. He really needed a spark like that to stay in the game. Another flawless encounter for Catalyst, though he's still facing a steep climb. The lower seed is refusing to go quietly today. Unbelievable. He closes it out with a perfect shot to secure the map. He just keeps finding those lightning fast openings, leaving Catalyst with practically no time to react throughout the entire set. Vortex is currently on a 5-win streak, showing some incredible form lately. It's an interesting contrast to Catalyst, who has been struggling to pull things together in his last few matches. We'll see if he can turn the tide around here. Vortex is firmly in control now, leading 2-1. Hard to forget his overall historical dominance in this specific rivalry. These exchanges are moving so quickly, Catalyst simply can't react in time. A total shutout of a round, and the momentum is completely shifting toward him. A frantic exchange, but he manages to outlast his opponent to claim a 4th straight round. What a fight! Catalyst barely survives a chaotic trade to put an end to that run. He isn't backing down. That's a 2nd straight round for the challenger. He is definitely starting to shake off those early jitters. He catches the other guy from the wine for another point, cutting the lead down to a single round. Goodness, what a scrap. Both players were practically dead, but he just barely edges out the win. He's showing great grit, weathering a heavy exchange to keep the pressure on before we hit the break. The momentum is swinging back and forth in a huge way. Vortex holds a 7-5 lead heading into the switch. I mean, the underdog is really making a statement here. He's completely ignored the long-term head-to-head deficit to take a surprising advantage in the first half. He clears him off the Tetris and keeps this comeback alive. The slight favorite is feeling the heat now. Unbelievable. He survives a grueling firefight to bring the score level. Talk about a complete reversal of fortune in a matter of minutes. Absolutely insane. He barely manages to survive that onslaught to reclaim a 1-round lead. Vortex is currently coming off a very strong stretch with a 21-14 record in the last day. That high level of consistency is starting to weigh on Catalyst, who's looking to bounce back from a tough series of losses. Now the question is if Catalyst can find a way to disrupt this momentum. He just keeps fighting, shutting this one down with a clean victory. The underdog is putting up a real fight in this series. Vortex is really putting a grip on this series, extending his lead to 3. That 2nd seed status is really starting to show. A completely untouched duel as Catalyst refuses to let this match slip away. Vortex secures a huge edge here and is now just 1 round away from victory. He manages to stabilize the ship and take a commanding lead. A total shut-off of a fight, and the resilience from Catalyst keeps this dream alive. Just a steady display of poise from the trailing player. What a finisher! Vortex shuts the door and closes out the match right here. He really dug deep to secure that one, barely surviving those few close calls. Catalyst gave him a real run for his money. What a battle! Phantom holds a significant historical edge with a 61% win rate against his opponent. Well, it is interesting because Vortex actually took their very last encounter. We'll see if Phantom can use that long-term confidence to shut down this matchup early. A fierce duel on the ramp ends in a third straight victory for Phantom. The current number 1 seed is looking completely untouchable. A total shutdown on the ramp for his 4th straight victory. It is quite a contrast to how his last game went. Vortex finally finds an opening and shuts that streak down. Vortex is clearly feeling his best lately with that 6-game run. Phantom is really capitalizing on that height advantage to build a sizable lead here. The world number 1 is definitely finding his feet again. Phantom is just too quick today. He caught Vortex right as he stepped onto the ramp. The top seed is definitely playing like the favorite right now. Phantom secures a huge vantage point from the Tetris to keep this roll going. He's putting that number 1 seed status on full display. Vortex reacts quickly to pick him off the ramp. He's looking a lot like that 2nd ranked player on the ladder. Emotion Mid Vortex is showing some incredible stability today with a 21-14 record over the last 24 hours. It's a stark contrast to Phantom's more volatile day, and we're seeing that momentum shift in real time. The big question is if he can carry this heat through the halfway mark Emotion Mid. It's 8-4 in favor of Phantom. I mean, he was the long shot coming into this game, but he's currently in total control. We might be looking at a serious upset if he keeps this pace up after the switch. Time to see if the momentum holds. Phantom just widened the gap to 9-4. He's really putting those 19-10 numbers from today into perspective. Unbelievable. He barely clings to life after that exchange, surviving with a sliver of health to secure the round. That was a terrifyingly thin margin for the win. What an insane fight. He manages to outlast his opponent from the Tetris, barely scraping through with practically nothing left. Unreal, both of them are walking on a razor's edge tonight. Phantom just couldn't let him breathe, shutting down Vortex right as he tried to hold that ramp. His current form makes a massive lead here a bit shocking. He completely dismantled that attempt at a comeback, putting himself just 1 round away from victory. Vortex steps up with a crisp response to keep himself in the fight. He's fighting an uphill battle to close the gap. What a battle! He outlasts his opponent in a grueling firefight to shut the door on this series. He just completely shut down the number 2 seed's momentum, proving exactly why he's currently sitting at the top of the ladder. Phantom comes into this as the top player in our rating, but it's clear Catalyst has been the one dominating their head-to-head clashes lately. I mean, it will be interesting to see if the world #1 can regain that control today. Catalyst is really putting the pressure on with a 2-0 lead. Despite that overall head-to-head lead, he's just not connecting. Absolute perfection from the underdog, just completely outclassing his opponent in another fast exchange. He's just completely steamrolling right now, picking up another effortless victory. The world #1 looks completely lost tonight. Finally, Phantom responds, clearing Catalyst of the Tetris to put a point on the board. Still, the top seed has plenty of ground to make up. And a quick second one for him, refusing to let the deficit grow. He's absolutely on fire right now, taking a 3rd straight round without breaking a sweat. A quick exchange that ends the rally for the top seed, putting the lead back in Catalyst's hands. His 13-23 record so far today shows he's fighting an uphill battle. He just manages to pick the opponent off the boost to keep his hopes alive. He's fought through a lot of turmoil in this series so far. What a brawl! He barely edges out that fight to level the score at 5-5. Both players now have a completely clean slate going into the next one. Catalyst edges back ahead, holding a slim 1-round advantage. He's really digging in for this upset. We head into the break tied at 6-all. I mean, this is a complete toss-up. Catalyst has a better track record on the arena, but he struggled to close out these rounds so far. Fresh start for both of them. Catalyst is really playing a tight game, picking Phantom right off those Tetris blocks to extend his lead. He's showing a lot of resilience after a tough start to his day. Catalyst has put himself in a commanding spot with a 2-round lead. It's interesting because he's really fighting back from a rough start to his day. If he can just keep this momentum going, he'll have a serious shot at closing this out. He manages to shake him off the boost, keeping the pressure high as he continues this fight. This is exactly the kind of resilience he's shown in previous clashes. Catalyst holds a 2-round cushion as we enter 16. He's certainly making up for those recent losses right now. A tidy piece of work from Phantom, who continues to claw his way back into this contest. He's finally starting to look like the heavy favorite again. Catalyst keeps a 2-point buffer as we hit 18. That's a tough stretch for a player who's usually in the top 5. He's proving just how tough he is to put away, securing a completely clean kill here. It's starting to look like a genuine dogfight. This series is really coming down to the wire. Every time Phantom makes a move, Catalyst answers right back. Catalyst puts him right back in his place, shutting things down with a clean shot to the head. He's simply not letting his opponent breathe right now. A swift response here from the veteran, who refuses to go down without a fight. It's a huge mental swing for the higher rated player right now. He's just not letting this match slip away, keeping the pressure high while facing the brink of defeat. The world #1 is proving why he's feared. Unbelievable. Catalyst closes the deal with an effortless finish to secure the series victory. He really stepped up when it mattered most to take down the top seed in a thriller. What a fight! Vortex is carrying a lot of momentum after a strong 2015 run over the last day. You know, it's interesting because this is a huge departure from their usual history against Catalyst. We'll see if this early lead allows him to flip the script on the favorite. Catalyst shows a bit more grit here, shaking him off the toolbox to keep things tight. A very close gap between these two on the ladder. A real battle of the heights there, but Vortex manages to outduel him from the toolbox. He's really leaning into that high seeding today. Catalyst didn't let the altitude intimidate him, coming right through Vortex on the toolbox to tie things up. He's definitely playing up to that top 5 rating today. Catalyst is really starting to seize control of this map, keeping the pressure on from the planks. The higher seed is definitely feeling the heat from his opponent. He just completely erased that height advantage and secures his 3rd straight victory. Vortex usually has the upper hand on this specific map. Vortex responds immediately, securing a fast win to level the score. Vortex edges ahead, putting the pressure on Catalyst. He's showing some real resolve despite that career head-to-head deficit. That's a commanding 3-round burst to take a 6-4 lead. He's really putting that 2nd place ranking on display. Vortex is just on fire right now, piling on another win as he heads into the break. He's looking completely untouchable going into that interval. It's 7-5 for Vortex. Well, he's really fighting the narrative here as the underdog. Despite Catalyst winning the vast majority of their past meetings, Vortex is actually the one pacing himself for a surprise victory today. Vortex secures that one from the planks and is really putting a grip on this match now. He's looking a lot sharper than he did against Phantom earlier today. Vortex just walked right up those ramp stairs and shut him down. A real struggle for the 4th seed to find an answer. Catalyst just shuts that down from below, taking the fight right to Vortex on the toolbox. A solid response from a player who's currently in the top 7. Vortex continues to pile on the pressure, securing another win from the ramp to push his lead to 4. The momentum is shifting completely away from the 4th seed. Catalyst is really fighting back to close that gap after a difficult day with 13 wins in 36 games. It's a strong mental recovery for him, and honestly, it looks like he's finally starting to reclaim some of that ground. What a response. He's now claimed 3 straight, narrowing this gap to a single round. Vortex just can't find a way to break this rhythm. He puts an end to that run, claiming the round from the ramp. A tight clash for a pair of top 5 players. He wins the duel on the wine box, continuing this impressive climb back into the game. He's certainly proving why he belongs in those top seeds. Unreal. He's just barely alive after that exchange, clawing back to a dead even score. Absolute nails on the edge there. That was a hair's breadth. Vortex just outmuzzled him from the wine box to reach a huge milestone. It's a huge look for the favorite in this closing stretch. Absolutely sensational. Catalyst just wiped the floor with him on those planks to force this into overtime. A total toss-up now as they head into the extra frames. Vortex is just too fast today, catching Catalyst right as he stepped onto the ramp. His current form is just vastly superior to the lower seeded player. Catalyst is showing unbelievable spirit, dropping the opponent right off that wine box to bring the score dead even. Neither side is giving an inch in this absolute deadlock. This is becoming a real seesaw battle. Neither of these two can put the other away. He's a much more consistent force than he's been all day. What an absolute wall is put up, securing that win from the ramp to keep this deadlocked. The nerve on this guy to keep the match on a knife's edge. He just completely out-aimed the other player on the wine box to reach a critical lead. Absolute precision in that exchange to keep the lead. Absolute perfection to close it out. Vortex claims the series with a flawless finale. He's completely rewritten the history books with this victory. He just couldn't be stopped in the clutch. What a fight! Phantom is coming in with a commanding head-to-head record over the years. And he's carrying that confidence into this set after taking a decisive game from Vortex very recently. It'll be interesting to see if the second-ranked player can close that gap today. Phantom really likes that Tetris spot, using the height to put a bit of pressure on Vortex. Vortex is usually the one expected to take these. Everything is completely reset now, with both tied at 2. He's looking remarkably sharp today, despite that recent loss to Catalyst. Unreal. He somehow claws through that exchange and barely escapes with his life. Vortex has proven his current 70% win rate isn't just a fluke. We are deadlocked at 3 apiece for this duel. The top seed is making his presence felt here. Phantom has a slim lead now, sitting at 4. He's really cementing that gap between the top 2 seeds. The pace is really picking up now, with that last exchange happening in under 4 seconds. A great look for the rank 2 player to be this close. Phantom takes total control of the vertical space there, securing a 1-round cushion. The number 1 seed is looking very comfortable with the momentum right now. Emotion Mid Phantom has been incredibly active today, boasting a 20-11 record over the last day. That high volume of matches is clearly translating to some very sharp reflexes. He's simply not letting the pressure get to him right now. Emotion Mid... Phantom goes into the break with a strong 8-4 lead. He is absolutely defying the pre-match predictions right now. That 4-round burst of momentum has flipped this match completely on its head. Vortex really needs a new approach. What a scramble! Both players were absolutely shredded in that exchange, but he manages to secure the kill by a hair. The world number 1 is really making this look effortless. Phantom's just cruising along with a dominant 9-5 lead. He's showing a bit more resilience than that previous 13-6 loss. Vortex is starting to put on a charge really quickly, shutting down those high ground attempts. He's certainly not playing like a massive underdog right now. The comeback continues. That's 3 straight for Vortex, and he's practically untouched after that one. It's a complete reversal from that early lead he had. He's just not stopping. That's a 4th straight round for the challenger, who is rapidly narrowing this gap. The pressure is starting to build for the favorite. Phantom manages to cut the rally short and puts a stop to that run. Vortex is still fighting an uphill battle against that massive lifetime deficit. Emotion Mid, that was lightning fast. Phantom is really tightening the noose now with the 3-round cushion. Emotion Mid. Absolute perfection from the favorite, who just took his opponent off that box to reach match point. That was an incredibly clean exchange to close out the round. A critical stop for Vortex, who simply refuses to let his opponent close this out. He just refused to let the door slam shut. Boom! He closes the door on this series with an absolutely pristine final exchange. Emotion high, he's just continuing that absolute dominance over the rivalry. Even with that scary push in the second half, the top seed just looked too strong emotion high. Phantom enters the server with a heavy 69% win rate on this map, but he is currently dealing with a bit of a mental slump after dropping a close series to Catalyst in their most recent meeting. It will be interesting to see if the top seed can shake that off. Phantom's looking strong, holding a narrow 2-1 lead. The #1 rated player in the league is showing exactly why. He just wipes that container clean and takes total control of the server. A tough stretch for Catalyst, who has struggled more this afternoon. What a fight! Catalyst drags himself across the finish line with a tiny sliver of health left after knocking Phantom off the ramp. He definitely knows how to get his head in these games. Dead even now, we are completely tied up at 3-all. A huge fight from the #4 seed to stay in it. Phantom claws back the lead, moving ahead 4-3. His superior ranking definitely gives him some confidence here. These two are trading blows back and forth, making it nearly impossible to tell who has the upper hand right now. It's a mirrored image of their last encounter. Catalyst surges ahead, now leading 5-4. The momentum shifted a while ago, but he's still fighting back. Back to a dead hit at 5 apiece. His deeper experience against this opponent should start to pay off. Catalyst is really putting the pressure on here, claiming another round to build on that lead. The top 4 seeds are really battling it out for control. Catalyst holds a 7-5 lead heading into the break. I mean, this is exactly where we wanted the match to be. He's looking very comfortable right now despite Phantom's strong start. Time to see if Phantom answers back. Phantom was too quick on that play, catching Catalyst right as he tried to hold the ramp. A quick adjustment here to steady his pace. The tide is turning as Phantom has completely erased that early deficit. Expectations are being met as the top seed takes charge. What a scrap! He barely escapes that engagement with his life, clawing out a win in a total firefight. He's showing an incredible amount of grit in those tight spots. Everything is up in the air at 8 apiece. His recent 21-11 run this past day is certainly showing. Catalyst narrowly edges ahead with a slim 9-8 lead. A lightning fast exchange to keep the lead. What an unbelievable save. He barely survives that firefight after dragging himself back from the brink to tie it at 9-all. The league's top seed is refusing to let this one slide. Phantom is starting to pile up the wins here, putting the pressure back on Catalyst after that aggressive push from the ramp. He's firmly taking control of this matchup now. Absolutely clinical work, and that's another one for him to keep this roll going. Phantom puts on a huge showing, picking him off the container to secure a massive advantage. Complete dominance on display during this stretch. Catalyst refuses to let it end here, stumbling into a strong finish to stay alive in this series. Just a touch of resilience from the underdog when it matters most. Unbelievable. He finishes the match with a lightning fast shot to seal the victory. He really had to fight to get that revenge today, but the world #1 finally settles the score. Such a gritty battle. What a match. Vortex gets the early lead, but Catalyst usually owns the head-to-head history. Vortex currently holds a significant edge in our ratings. So yeah, it's interesting to see him pushing this lead right now, especially since he's historically struggled to come out on top in these meetings. He definitely needs to keep this momentum if he wants to flip the script on Catalyst. Catalyst asserts himself from the Tetris to keep this game within reach. A solid response from the underdog to keep this competitive. Vortex is really capitalizing on that elevation advantage, getting out of the ramp for a big lead. He's putting that top 2 ranking on full display today. Catalyst shuts things down from the Tetris and shows some real grit to close the gap. He's playing with a lot more confidence after that 13-11 victory over Zoda. Vortex secures that high ground a few times now, and he's starting to really separate himself from Catalyst. He looks far more composed than he did in his previous outing today. Vortex is putting up a strong showing here, but he's playing against a guy with a 75% win rate on this specific map. It's a massive hurdle to overcome when the odds are so heavily stacked against him. I wonder if the momentum will be enough to ignore those historical trends. Vortex just reads him perfectly, pulling off the quick win against Catalyst on the Tetris. Just a glimpse of the struggle he's had in their long-term history. Vortex is simply dominating with a commanding 7-4 lead. He's really fighting to stay in the game, despite the current score. Vortex goes into the break with a 7-5 advantage. I mean, the favorite is really struggling to keep pace here. Catalyst usually controls their history, but Vortex is firmly in the driver's seat for now. Time for a fresh start. Vortex is really pulling away now, leading 8-5. He's really looking for a return to form after that drop to Phantom. Vortex is just relentless, stretching this lead to 9-5. It's a surprising shift, given how often Catalyst dominates their history. Catalyst secures the ramp and finally puts an end to that little scoring run from Vortex. A nice response for a player who's been struggling today. Another high-impact play from Catalyst, who's showing incredible resolve to close this gap. The gap is narrowing fast as we head into the final stretch. Vortex still keeps a 3-round cushion at 10-7. A really tough day for him, so far after that poor 12-24 run. Everything is starting to happen so quickly now. These rounds are flying by. He's really cementing that rank 2 spot today. He's absolutely locked in, cruising to match point with a completely clean finish. Total reverse of the usual dynamic we see between these two. What a scramble! Both players were nearly out of health, but Catalyst manages to survive that chaotic exchange. Just enough health left to keep the dream alive. Catalyst shuts him down from the ramp and keeps this battle alive. He's showing some serious resilience in this stretch. He finds another one from the Tetris, keeping his momentum surging as we hit 12-10. The pressure is mounting for the heavy favorite to close this out. Boom. Vortex closes it out by wiping him off the Tetris to take the series. He really had to dig deep for that one after that late pushback. It's just a huge win for the favorite to finally shake this guy off. He had to work for that. Phantom is clearly the superior force here with over 2400 total wins against Vortex across their history. Well, it's a heavy advantage on paper, but the current score shows the higher ranked player isn't starting this one as comfortably as we'd expect. And he just can't find a way through. The momentum has completely shifted to Vortex. The top seed is certainly feeling the pressure right now. Absolutely oppressive. He's simply walking over his opponent right now. Surprisingly, the number 1 seed is looking completely lost here. Finally, a response from the higher seed, getting his first round on the board. Vortex had a decent 2016 outing over the last day. Vortex is dominating a massive 5-1 lead currently. A really tough start for the top seed. Vortex is just too sharp right now, making it look easy from the Tetris height. He's definitely putting the ladder rankings to the test right now. Vortex is having a fantastic day with a 2016 record so far. It's impressive seeing that energy translate into a substantial lead here. I'm curious to see if that momentum can outlast Phantom's superior experience on this specific map. Vortex is cruising right now, leading 7-3. It's a stark contrast to their last meeting, where Phantom took it 13-9. Vortex just ripped through that angle, catching Phantom wide open on the wine. It's a worrying look for the league's top-rated player. Vortex heads into the break with a strong 9-3 lead, and honestly, this matches the pre-game hype perfectly. He's completely in charge right now, leaving the top seed with a lot of ground to cover in the second half. Time for a fresh start. Vortex is nearly there, holding a crushing 10-3 lead. It's rare to see the top-rated guy this outclassed. Phantom is fighting an uphill battle at 4-10. He's coming off a fresh victory against Catalyst just a bit ago. He just barely scraped by that exchange, hanging on with a tiny sliver of health to keep this run going. The number 1 player is finally starting to look like himself. He's completely taken over the match now, shutting down the competition for the 3rd straight round. This is how it looks when he plays like the world's best. Vortex shuts down that surge immediately, putting himself just 2 rounds away from a win. A bold performance from someone who isn't typically favored in this rivalry. Phantoms refuse to go down quietly. He's definitely keeping himself in the hunt here. He's been in incredible form today, racking up 22 wins. What a scramble! He practically claws his way back from the wine, surviving with a tiny fraction of health. The top 2 in the league are really trading blows now. Vortex secures another tight engagement and is now just a single round away from the victory. Vortex is absolutely fearless against the higher rank tonight. What an incredible display of precision! Vortex closes it out right here to take the series. He had the top seed shaking for most of the map, and he just never let up until the very end. Phantom holds the overall edge in their head-to-head history, having won over 600 matches against his opponent, but he is currently fighting off a cold start after dropping his previous match. It will be interesting to see if the top player in our ratings can reclaim his composure here. Catalyst is putting on a clinic, leading 2-1. Catalyst looks a lot more confident than his last few games today. That was a lightning fast exchange. Catalyst is just out-dueling him right now. Phantom manages to hold the line from the window, and now we're looking at a very tight set. His overall record in these head-to-heads is heavily in his favor. Catalyst is really running away with this. 4-2. The number 5 player is really putting the wall up. Catalyst is just too fast from the ramp, putting a lot of pressure on Phantom right now. He's really taken advantage of a shaky start from the top seed. Phantom manages to pick him off the box, showing some grit here to stay in the match. The gap in their experience is still showing through. Catalyst had no problem dealing with him on the ramp, really putting a grip on this series. Things are looking very different from their last meeting today. Phantom puts his foot down here, knocking the opponent off the ramp to narrow the gap. The top seed is finally showing some signs of life. He keeps the pressure high from the ramp, refusing to let Catalyst pull away. It's getting a lot closer to a toss-up now. A 7-5 lead for Catalyst. Everything is going according to plan so far. The heavy favorite is in control, though Phantom is definitely making him earn every single round. Let's see if Phantom finds his rhythm. He holds a strong line from the ramp, refusing to buckle while closing the distance. The momentum is swinging right back toward the favorite. Catalyst just shuts him down on the ramp, keeping his lead intact as we move into the second half. Surprisingly, this is looking like the dominant side today. Another strong play here as he takes Catalyst right off the ramp to keep this comeback rolling. The pressure is starting to mount for the lower seed. What a fight! He manages to scrape through a chaotic exchange to even the score. That's a total reset for this whole set. It's a completely fresh start for both players now. He secures another victory from the ramp, and now he's officially climbed into the lead. He's finally starting to play like the favorite in this duel. Catalyst answers back instantly, picking him off the ramp to bring us back to a deadlock. A very different story than the outcome of their last meeting. Catalyst edges ahead by 1 after that narrow victory. Catalyst really hasn't had the easiest run of games today. He wins another battle on the ramp, completing a 3-round surge. He's really turning the tables from that previous loss on Mappas. He refuses to let the momentum slip away, clawing right back into this set. What a stand! He survives a brutal war from the ramp to bring the series level at 11-11. A real bloodbath of a round to bring it back to a deadlock. A clean response from Catalyst, and now he's just 1 round away from finishing the series. total role reversal considering the odds going into this one. Unbelievable. Phantom manages to outlast him from the planks, forcing this whole thing into overtime. Absolute chaos in a set that just refuses to end. He just shuts the door on that streak, claiming a total victory from the toolbox. Pure confidence from the favorite in those critical closing moments. Goodness, what a scramble! He barely survives that trade with a sliver of health to take a commanding lead. A hard-stopping finish to keep this streak alive. That's 4 straight for the top seed, and he's looking absolutely untouchable as we head into this final stretch. Unbelievable effort. He finishes the run to close out the series in spectacular fashion. He just wouldn't let Catalyst keep that momentum going in the end. Pure grit to close this one out. What a match! Catalyst is the clear owner of this head-to-head rivalry, winning 60% of their encounters overall. It's interesting because Vortex just took their most recent meeting in a very tight game. Now the pressure is on to see if that recent win was an anomaly. Vortex is suddenly in control with a 2-1 lead. The second-ranked player in the league is putting on a show. That was a scrappy exchange, but he manages to come out on top and keep this rolling. He's just untouchable right now, taking a round in less than a second. A gritty scramble, but Catalyst manages to outlast him to cut the deficit. A high pressure spot for the favorite to steady the ship. Vortex has been absolutely on fire lately, winning 80% of his last 10 outings. You can really feel that momentum clashing with the struggle Catalyst is having right now. It will be a huge mental test for Catalyst to shake off this slump. He's showing some real grit, bringing the score within 1 as he keeps this resurgence going. Vortex is feeling the heat from the underdog now. What a turnaround! He's completely flipped the script to even this series up. He's really making a statement today as the underdog. he secures a fast exchange to reclaim the lead before we head into the break. We're deadlocked at 6-6 going into the break. I mean, Catalyst entered this as the heavy favorite, but he's struggling to find any stability here. We've seen the lead swap hands multiple times already. Side switch. Let's see who... Vortex surges ahead by 1 as we start the second half. The 5-ranked guy is really struggling to find his footing today. Vortex is pulling away with a comfortable 2-round cushion. He's firmly in the driver's seat now, taking another round to maintain a 3-point gap. It's been a tough day for him with that 11-25 record. He answers right back with a clean finish to keep his comeback alive. The higher seeded player is finally starting to look more comfortable. He's refusing to go away, putting up another flawless round to tighten the gap. It's becoming a much tighter battle than anyone expected. Vortex holds a 2-point edge as we hit round 18. Vortex is really taking advantage of his 1835 rating right now. Vortex is really starting to build some dangerous momentum here as he pushes further ahead. The former winner in this series is really struggling to close a gap. A sharp reflex play from the ramp allows Catalyst to keep this rally alive. He's showing a lot of poise in these tight exchanges. Vortex survives a frantic trade to put himself 1 round away from victory. And that's it! Vortex shuts the door with a perfect final shot to claim the victory. He's just riding this wave of confidence right now, and it's clearly starting to weigh on the favorite. Phantom historically dominates this rivalry with a 61% win rate. It's a massive cushion, but he's actually looking for a revenge victory after losing their last head-to-head. The real question is if he can get back to that usual superiority. Vortex holds a tight 2-1 lead right now. It's a clash of the titans with the top two on the ladder. Phantom has completely flipped the script here, erasing that early lead in a flash. He has definitely found a way to answer back after that defeat on Italy. Vortex is still breathing down his neck at 3-2. The number 2 seed is looking very comfortable right now. Phantom keeps the momentum going with a solid play from the high ground. The world number 1 is starting to put the pressure on. Phantom now claims a narrow lead at 4-3. Vortex has been on an incredible tear lately, showing that top tier form. That's 3 straight for the leader, who looks completely in control now. The top seed is really asserting his authority here. A chaotic exchange ends with Vortex coming out on top to halt that run. Just another look at that high tier form he's brought lately. We are all squared up at 5 apiece. He has a strong 1916 record over the last day. Phantom pulls ahead by 1 after a massive play. He's definitely showing why he holds that top seed on the ladder. Phantom takes a 7-5 lead into the break. The underdogs are playing above expectations here. He's really leaning on his map experience to keep the edge over the favorite. Time to see if Vortex answers back. Phantom holds the edge, leading 7-6. His 23-12 record today is certainly keeping him in the driver's seat. Phantom really likes that high ground, using the height to seal another quick round. That top tier rating is really starting to shine through. That was an incredible duel, both of them fighting for the same high ground, and Phantom just barely wins the race. A dominant start for the player currently sitting atop the ladder. Vortex manages to pick him off the Tetris, showing some real grit to keep the deficit small. The underdog is refusing to let the lead slide too far. Vortex puts on a strong show, taking him down from the box to keep this comeback alive. He's effectively neutralized the lead for now. Unbelievable. He survives a grueling slugfest to bring the match completely level at 9 apiece. A completely shifted atmosphere as the match heads into the final stretch. Phantom recovers instantly, stepping back into the lead. It's a battle of the top 2 in the world. Vortex remains incredibly stubborn here, fighting his way back to a dead heat. The tension is peaking as these two refuse to budge. Phantom is showing some serious composure, refusing to let the match slip away after that back and forth stretch. He looks locked in for this critical stretch. He's just one round away from a victory after that precise burst. Everything is clicking for the favorite as he closes in. Absolute perfection to close it out. Phantom takes the win and finishes the game with a flawless final round. Vortex really pushed him to the limit, but the #1 spot just held firm in the end. He had to work for that.